I think this is a very pivotal point in time for First Nations women in the history of this country.
Wiyi Yani U Thangani work, I think, has been a really important part of a conversation amongst Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander women in this country over the past couple of years. It's been really impressive to hear from so many women and their insights about the lived experience of being an Indigenous woman in this country, what are some of the greatest challenges, but also our successes in our community and more broadly as a nation.
This is the first time when I have like over 900 First Nation women and girls and key stakeholders all in that same venue and the opportunity to connect with everyone.
I've never been to a summit that has just been for women, so that's been completely different to anything I've attended in the past. And yeah, it's just been incredible. I've just never been in an atmosphere that has been so strong and powerful and women-led before.
What the summit means to me is about doing things that's just and right. First Nations women here in Australia we aren't accessing our basic human rights. And so it's going back to exactly that and starting right there.
Every part of what we do is geared towards ensuring that subsequent generations don't experience the same sorts of things that we have, that we are leaving our world in a better place than we found it. And so those impacts have been detrimental. That's difficult to live with. But it's also built a fire and developed a fire in many of us. And the idea of all of that fire coming together over the next few days is really quite exciting and very, very energising. As First Nations women, there isn't a part of our lives that are not touched by the concept of gender justice. It's what we live and we breathe every day. The impacts of the things that have been done to us over time are ever present in our lives.
This moment right now, me standing here, is so important for now and the future. One, in acknowledging the leadership that's been paved, the path that's been paved by our leaders that are still here and not here, but that we stand on the shoulders of giants. And so it's really important for me as a young person to understand and acknowledge the fight.
One of my favourite quotes is this: "May we be people that plant seeds which grow trees in whose shade we may never sit under." And when I think about this summit and when I think about what these women are doing and the seeds that they're planting and the trees that they're helping nurture to grow, they're not just going to influence our generation, but 7 generations into the future. And so when I think about the work that they're doing, this is imperative work. And so I'm really excited to see, I guess, the legacy effects of what this is going to do for Black women all over this nation and how it's going to continue to inspire and empower Black liberation, our sovereignty as First Nations women, and how we're just unstoppable. We're going to keep flying forward.
Rise up, break the cage, be the lion, be the storm, be the strike of the lightning. Rise with the dawn, rage like the sun. This is what we came for, revolution.
Well, I hope that this is a beginning point to the future years of strengthening our presence, strengthening the voices of our women and girls, and creating strong leaders for the continued advocacy and change makers that we really need to see leading.
We will no longer stand for being marginalised or excluded. This is what our future looks like, and it's about inclusion and opportunity. And for me, this is a real energising of Indigenous women owning their space, claiming their power.
So this is it's a huge event. It's a really important part of what comes next for First Nations women and girls in this country.
Where do we fit? How do we exercise our rights? How do we exercise the things that are natural within us as really strong, matriarchal Black women? That is what this work represents. It represents strength.
I would like to see Indigenous women and girls stay strong, maintain hope. We are powerful and we are more powerful together.